Hey Sagittarius, welcome to the month of December 2023. It's going to be a wonderful month for you because you're going to feel like you're making financial decisions and actions that are very important when it comes to your work, your health, and your overall sense of financial resourcefulness. Things should be going your way because you're in a very Martian mode. And we'll talk about why that is true. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Lori Lothian, and I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. And I love the fixed stars and minor asteroids. And you get a lot of that content when you hang out with me on my channel. So give me a try, hit the like button, subscribe, and see what you think about the world of lunatic astrology. I have a small promotion this month that's just going to very quickly touch base on. It is that I'm sharing my Patreon community offer to you guys this month. You're going to get, try me out, $5 a month. Early access, ad-free content, like what you're listening to. My Patreon community gets a whole week before you do, without ads, and never see ads. And if you want to try me out in the month of December for $5, you can quit after. You get access to Chiron, the Key to Purpose class that I've taught. You get to watch that class again and get the content for free. The Synastry, Are You My Person class about relationship astrology, as well as I'm offering you free access to my December class on a course about using Chiron for life timing. So if any of that interests you, just to get the freebies, try me out. And if you don't like my Patreon world, you can leave, but it's my December promotion. So let's talk about what you're up to this month, Sagittarius. And I'm going to open up the chart and recording on December I don't know what the date is, maybe the 19th, and Patreon will get this today. So or within a day, let's open up. Oh, I don't share the sky with you. I forgot. You guys, some people want me to share the sky, and some people don't. Let's talk about the big stories in the month ahead. Okay, the first big story is that you're receiving Mars this month. Mars is moving into the sign of Sagittarius. In fact, he's here by the time December starts. He arrives on the doorstep of your sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising in Sag. He arrives there on November the 24th, and he doesn't leave until January the 4th. So his 6-week or so stay in the sign of Sagittarius every couple of years feels good for you because you got this fiery Mars in your sign and you're full of excitement. You're full of decision making, action taking, momentum and power. You're very much in your fire element at this time where the Mars is amplifying your willingness to dare, to take chances, to have bigger hopes and a kind of a like leap in the net will appear quality. So in the month of December, you experience a lot of this energy. And, it's a little different than it is every single time because this time Mars is still deeply invisible until January. So it's also very like finding your inner fire, finding your inner warrior. And you may ruminate about major life decisions in the month of December that you may not begin to take action on until January. So I just did a Mars Kazemi video about the 2-year reset of Mars and Scorpio and how that impacts each sign. Go listen to that, but I also touch into the heliacal rise of Mars in January into the visible sky. And that is also going to impact your finances over 2 years as well. So go check out that video. I'll put a link to it in my description box below. But in the meantime, I think you're going to find that month of December to feel very positive because you can still feel this inner Martian fire, and it does make you more action oriented and decisive, although there may be more like planning your big general strategies, like a general at the drawing board for war, and then executing those strategies in January. Now, a lot of what I'm seeing here is that you're looking at a lot of financial decision making around resources, money, work, livelihood, earnings, possessions. Some of you may even choose to sell something during this month of December. Let's talk about why. I mean, one of the big things going on this month is Mercury moving through your second house of earnings and money and resources. Now, Mercury here in Capricorn is very capable and very resourceful of helping you figure out your financial earnings, assets, and means by virtue of either buying or selling or negotiating things like new work contracts, new business contracts, buying or selling pieces of things you possess in order to stabilize your resources. And when he is here, Mercury, from December 1st to the 22nd, he's really opening up those question marks about your money and how you want to handle your resources. Pluto is here in the very late degrees, ending a long story for you Sagittarius people since 2008 of learning about the meaning of resources, money, and power, and coming to terms with that means for you in your life. But with Mercury here now, we've got some interesting dynamic action. So between December 1st and the 13th or so, Mercury is direct. So you're making a lot of decisions or taking a lot of actions or negotiations or having ideas connected to your resources and earnings. And then on the 13th, he will station retrograde at 8 degrees of Capricorn. And until the 22nd, he's still back. He's moving backwards, but he's still in your second house of earnings. So keep in mind that really it is between the 1st and the 22nd that Mercury is focused on that. But then as he retrogrades in your earnings house, December 13th, back to the 22nd of December, or forward in time, but back in his movement, he's going to be saying something very simple. He's going to be suggesting that it is time for you to reassess, go back over old ground, and reconnect to what it is you want in your money. And sometimes this literally means monetary opportunities from the past will return to you. It's that simple. The other suggestion I have here is that it's possible that you're going to see something going on where you will have an email, a phone call, or with someone you know from your work past, your career past, giving you new opportunities for work environment actions. Like you could say, oh my God, I haven't heard from my old boss or my old colleague in ages, and here they are, and they're wanting to offer me some new opportunity in work and career. So, or an old opportunity returning to you, just that kind of thing. I'm having a really weird hair day. Okay, keep that in mind. When he moves into Sagittarius on the 22nd, and until the end of the month is moving backwards in the sign of Sagittarius until the end of December, you're going to see that you're looking at things from your own mind and your own ideas, again, over old ground about things you've thought about before that will also be about your earnings. So you're coming into a reassessment, a deeper thinking. You might come up with some new ideas or old ideas made new around finances, earnings, and resources. So there's that Mercury story ongoing this month. And I'm going to give you 2 highlights about how Mercury is really working on your behalf around your health, perhaps, and helping you eat better foods that make you healthier, because he's in the house of what you put in your mouth. But he's also opening up a doorway for you, a very powerful one, of work and career money opportunities. And I'm going to give you the dates of December the 7th to the 9th, when he's in a trine to Jupiter, who's retrograding in your work house, the 6th house of work. And he's also going to do the same sort of trine December 17th to the 19th, when he is in retrogradation. There'll be another one in January. So you can sort of see this ongoing story of opportunity from your 6th house of work, career, work and service jobs, and job space, colleagues, coworkers, and finances. Now, because the 6th house is also things to do with pets, domestic animals, there are also maybe some suggestions that December 7th to 9th and 17th to the 19th, there are some stories going on with animals, because Mercury's in a money house, and it would be purchasing or selling an animal, probably buying an animal, getting a new pet. Rental agreements and contracts can be very much about the 6th house as well as debts owed. And so you may be able to clear a financial debt and or find a financial rental opportunity emerging in your life around December 7th to 9th or 17th to the 19th, whether you're renting out a property or you're the tenant of a property, especially with Saturn in your 4th house. There's always this possibility with Jupiter in the 6th of some long-lasting solutions to your reality regarding the idea of a rental property or rental properties, whether they're commercial or residential, really. Now, what else is happening this month in terms of planetary ingresses is Venus is moving through the sign of, drum roll, please. Where does Venus go in this month? She moves her little bum through the sign of Scorpio, and that's her detriment. Now, just because she's in detriment doesn't mean she's in bad condition. She is, in fact, a benefic planet, and she's moving through your 12th house, and she's there to give you something good the best she can in the way she can best do from a place where she's not always comfortable. She's in a sign that belongs to Mars. Scorpio's Mars is terrain, but she still is going to open up some corridors of success for you in December to do with foreign travel, foreign shores and foreign lands, bed pleasures, with secret bed pleasures there. Things maybe even to do with improving your finances through things to do with foreigners, foreign countries, foreign shores, and the word international revenue. So look forward to Venus participating here in a very positive way, trying to really gin up some kind of financial goodness for you. So Venus will enter into the sign of Scorpio on the December the 4th to December 29th. So basically the whole month. And where she is in your 12th house. And 12th house is really, as I said, the bed pleasure story, or the, getting down with maybe some kind of international finance or revenue. I find sometimes when Venus is in the 12th house, so she's working on the idea of what brings you pleasure, And sometimes because the 12th house is where we have addictions or self-undoing or overdosing on something that's pleasurable, you may be confronting your experience in the month of December about how much pleasure is too much pleasure and where you might need to curtail that pleasure. So keep that story in mind. It may be very thematically pleasure control, the month of pleasure control. Maybe you're just not going to go busting all out at Christmas and, drink way too much and eat too much turkey or something like that. You're just going to keep a little bit of a framework around pleasures of all kinds and whether or not they're sort of overdosing in your life. Now we're going to go next and talk about the chronology of the month and all the events that are happening bit by bit. We're starting with Mercury will sextile Saturn on December 1st to 3rd. Well, Mercury sextiling Saturn. Mercury likes to do the news and conversations. He's going direct in your work and earnings and money and resources and savings sometimes. Second house, talking to Saturn in your 4th house of property, home, and real estate. It can look like maybe some conversations about a possession you wish to buy, purchase, or sell to do with your home, or even some conversations about buying and selling real estate, or some ideas about those things. And also maybe some kind of financial opportunity coming from legacy wealth out of your family of origin, money from your family of origin coming your way, or conversations about that. Then when we move onward, Venus follows up on December 5th to 6th by trining Saturn. Now, Venus in a trine to Saturn means that she's saying whatever Mercury you were talking to Saturn about in property, home, real estate, and domestic life, I'm following through from the 12th house. Now, she might be saying something like, in a positive way, let's make that decision to sell the home and move to another country. Let's make the decision to buy a property in another country. Let's make a decision around international monies or foreigners and foreign lands, home real estate, and money. All of those themes are very congealed together, but in a positive way on December 5th and the 6th. Venus in the 12th house can also be somebody that you would know, but maybe who's involved in a hospital or a hospital setting, having a conversation about an elder who needs to find a home. Like literally, this could be literally look like we finally found grandpa a care home or something like that, and we have the money to do it. Those are the kinds of ways these stories can play out. On December the 7th and 9th, I already told you we have that lovely trine from Mercury to Jupiter, all about work opportunity, maybe pets, maybe rental or debt situations that recurs on December 17th and 19th. So that's been done. On December 9th and 10th, however, 9th and 10th, Venus will oppose Jupiter. And that's a very challenging energy that she's up against Jupiter in your 6th house of health protocols, work routines, colleagues, coworkers, pets, and rentals from the 12th house of self-undoing. You may just be coming to terms again with how much pleasure is too much pleasure for your health. And Jupiter is saying, hey, I'm in your house, Venus, and we want to expand the Sagittarian's health situation. So is that really necessary to drink that much alcohol, smoke that many cigarettes, or whatever the thing is that you think is pleasurable, but may not be so good for you? So Jupiter is trying to kind of correct any health imbalances as he journeys through your 6th house of sickness until the 3rd week of May. And this is a confrontation with pleasure-seeking Scorpionic, debaucherous raves and Molly type vibes of Venus in your 12th house, and Jupiter saying, but you told me to get this Sag person healthy, so let's figure this out. So they're having a conflict of agendas. Venus would probably say also it's time for a pleasurable trip abroad, and Saturn's going, no, we have to get some work done, or we have to listen to what the boss says, or we have to do the work that the boss wants us to do. So there's this tension on December 9th and 10th, and she's going to come into another tension aspect a little later. We'll get to that in your 6th house, to your 6th house. On December the 11th and 12th, Venus in your 12th house and Mercury in Capricorn still direct in your 2nd have a very nice powwow called a sextile. Some really good developments coming here financially for you from a foreign country, foreigner, foreign land, international situation. Some money that you could spend for something that is to do with a travel to another country, possibly, but in a very easy, flowing, and positive way. So it's really good for money, basically. Venus is a money goddess, sextiling Mercury in a money house. So some good money stories are coming here, even if it means spending money that you need to spend, but finding that it's a perfect price point for you. Those sorts of things can be showing up for you in a very sweet and flowing way around December 11th and 12th. December 16th and 17th, we have some tension here. The sun is going to square Neptune. Now, Neptune is kind of like the dreamy, foggy guy, and he is at this point direct, but he's also in your fourth house of home, property, and real estate, lifting the fog of uncertainty and all of that about where you're supposed to live and where your true home is. And then we have this incredibly tense moment of time around the 16th and 17th, where the sun in the house of you, all ginned up with that excitement of Mars, is objecting. So there's something you're objecting to do with your home environment. You may not like what's going on there, and you're putting up a bit of a fight. And Neptune can be also where you're really clear, and any kind of illusion or rose-colored glasses about someone you're living with in the home, or a situation regarding home and land and real estate, is coming out of the fog into clarity, because Mars is cutting through that Neptunian fog as well. And the sun in that square is like, well, let's shed a light on the confusion I had about that home situation, real estate, property, or someone I'm living with in my home. And that is going to be a difficult but clearing energy on the 16th and 17th of December. Then on the 7th, or about buying or selling real estate as well. And then on the 17th and 19th, I already covered that. That's Mars' second trine to Jupiter in the work house, money, work situations, maybe from the past emerging. Venus will oppose Uranus, which is difficult on December 20 and 21, but surprising. Sometimes I find Venus-Uranus opposition just simply a very shocking moment around love or money. And December 2021, she's in that 12th house of bed pleasures and, self-sabotage, self-undoing, things that are hidden sometimes from your own view. Women, in particular females who are not your person, who are hidden enemies, can be Venus as she travels through your 12th house this month. And so then there's a sudden oh gosh, a jolt of shock in your 6th house of work. I mean, it could be like you always thought that female coworker or boss liked you, and now you find out they're out to undermine you. What a shock. Or you could have a surprise in your health outcomes that you didn't see coming, because Uranus is in the house of health. Or you could have some kind of unexpected surprise to do with foreign travel or foreign shores or foreigners. But whatever it is, it's also connected to maybe pets, rental situations, and debt situations. Keep all of that in mind. Ultimately, it can all work out. Ultimately, it looks really good on you, as Venus will come into a lot of flow energy during her journey through the sign of Scorpio to your 4th house of property, home, real estate, and legacy wealth. But there's just this kind of jolt, this eeky jolt of energy, that you're going to go into around that time. Don't forget, this is the end of this one, by the way. If you're new to my channel, subscribe, try me out. Don't forget, I introduced a Patreon promotion at the beginning. I hope you'll join me there. And if you don't like it, after a $5 trial, you can just leave. You can also join for any tier you like, but you can just leave and keep your free gifts. I think you will like the environment that I've created over on Patreon. It's much more intimate, and we get to connect and talk together on Zoom calls and get to know each other a bit better. Thanks for listening. I wish you all the best in the month of December for you amazing fire Sages with your arrows of truth that doth fly into the world. Bye all. Ciao, ciao. Oh, I got to stop you and I can't get the end button hit. Bye.